The world was still asleep, shrouded in a pre-dawn stillness that only the mountains know. The air was thick with the promise of a new day, a day that held the allure of the unknown and the challenge of the heights. A soft mist draped over the deodars, clinging to their ancient branches like a whispered secret. It softened the edges of the world, blurring the line between reality and dream. The forest held its breath, waiting for the sun to break through. As dawn painted the sky with hues of rose and gold, the peaks began to emerge from the darkness, their silhouettes sharp against the awakening light. The promise of warmth chased away the chill of the night. My rucksack lay open on the floor, a silent invitation to the adventure that awaited. It was a carefully curated collection of essentials, each item chosen with purpose and intention. Half filled for a journey I had planned for weeks, a journey not just across miles, but into the depths of myself. Each item represented a step further away from the familiar and closer to the raw, untamed heart of the mountains. Sleeping bag, a cocoon of warmth against the mountain chill. Biscuits, fuel for the body and the spirit. A book, a companion for the quiet moments of reflection. Water bottle, the elixir of life on the trail. Why walk into the wilderness alone? A question that echoed in the minds of many, but the answer was a deeply personal one. Town life had become a comfortable hiding place, a refuge from the noise and demands of the world. But fears of silence and the unknown had grown, festering in the stillness like a hidden wound. The comfort had become a cage. The hills called not for escape from life, but for a challenge to meet myself unburdened by the expectations and distractions of the everyday. To find clarity in the solitude and strength in the struggle, I checked my rucksack one last time, ensuring that everything was in its place, ready for the journey ahead. Grabbed my old walking stick, its worn surface a testament to countless miles and shared adventures. It was more than just a tool, it was a trusted companion, and breathed in the crisp pine-scented air, filling my lungs with the invigorating essence of the mountains. It was a breath of freedom, a breath of possibility. With a final look at my cozy room, a space that had held me safe and warm for so long, I acknowledged the comfort I was leaving behind. I stepped out into the cool morning air, ready to embrace the unknown. No grand farewell, no dramatic pronouncements. Just me and the promise of the path ahead, winding its way through the mountains like a ribbon of hope. The hills were waiting, patient and enduring, and I could not keep them waiting any longer. The journey had begun. Leaving my cottage felt like stepping out of a warm blanket into the cool morning. The world was waking up, a milkman's nod, wood smoke in the air, but the wild called louder. I set off, the road turning to a dusty track, houses fading behind me. Alone, I felt not dread, but freedom. The mountains ahead, shrouded in mist, beckoned. The solitude was rich, a blue butterfly, moss on a log, sunlight dappling the forest floor. I was no longer just walking, I was becoming part of the landscape. The path, barely visible beneath a carpet of fallen leaves, led deeper and deeper into the forest's embrace. It beckoned me forward, a silent invitation to explore the mysteries that lay hidden within its verdant depths. Each step I took was a commitment, a promise to venture further into the unknown. Here, ancient deodars stood like silent sentinels, their towering forms reaching towards the heavens. They were the guardians of this realm, their presence both imposing and comforting. Their massive trunks, weathered by centuries of wind and rain, spoke of resilience and endurance. In the dim, earthy silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves, my mind, left to its own devices, conjured fears. The filtered sunlight cast long, dancing shadows, playing tricks on my perception. Unbidden, anxieties surfaced, losing the path in this labyrinth of green, wild animals lurking just beyond the veil of dense undergrowth. The thought of being stranded, alone and vulnerable, sent a shiver down my spine. Every shadow moved with a life of its own. Every sound, amplified by the stillness, seemed a threat, a potential danger lurking just around the corner. The forest, once a place of wonder, now felt like a menacing presence. I paused, taking a deep breath, grounding myself in the present moment, trying to regain control of my runaway thoughts. I focused on the small details around me: ferns unfurling their delicate fronds, water dripping from leaves like tiny diamonds, nature simply being, existing in its own perfect rhythm, unconcerned with my anxieties. I realized the fear wasn't a product of the forest itself, but rather it was inside me, not in the forest's reality. This journey wasn't solely about conquering the wild landscape before me, but about confronting and learning to live with my own inner wilderness, the untamed landscape of my own mind. With a steadier heart, a renewed sense of purpose, I continued my trek, listening intently to the forest's whispers, the rustling of leaves, the songs of unseen birds, without letting fear take root and rule my experience. I was learning to be a calm observer, a detached witness to the unfolding drama of the forest, of both the vibrant, breathing world around me and the complex, often turbulent world within. After what felt like hours of walking, pushing through the dense undergrowth and navigating the winding forest paths, the trees finally began to thin. The oppressive canopy started to break apart, allowing glimpses of the sky above. And then, carried on the breeze, I heard it, the river's gentle murmur, a soothing sound that promised respite and signaled the end of my trek through the woods. The sound grew stronger with each step, a liquid melody drawing me closer. Emerging from the trees, I found a perfect spot by the water. A small clearing, carpeted with soft grass, offered a stunning view of the river as it snaked its way through the valley. It was sheltered enough to provide protection from the elements, yet open enough to allow the evening sun to bathe the area in golden light. I wasted no time in setting up my tent. Unfurling the canvas and securing the pegs, I created my temporary home, a small sanctuary in the wilderness. With the tent pitched and secure, I felt a quiet pride in my small achievement. A sense of self-reliance washed over me, knowing that I had created a safe and comfortable space for myself in the heart of nature. As evening fell, casting long shadows across the landscape, I gathered fallen branches and twigs and built a fire. The crackling flames provided warmth and a comforting sense of security. I placed my camping kettle over the flames, watching as the water began to bubble and steam, ready for a comforting cup of tea. Soon after, I savored the simple act of cooking a meal in nature. The aroma of the food mingled with the scent of wood smoke, creating a sensory experience that was both grounding and deeply satisfying. The sky shifted gradually, transforming into a canvas of breathtaking colors. It began as a vibrant blue, then deepened to a fiery orange, painting the clouds with hues of gold and amber. Finally, it faded into a deep purple, a velvety backdrop for the emerging stars. One by one, stars began appearing in the clear air, twinkling like diamonds scattered across a dark cloth. The fear from the forest, which had clung to me earlier in the day, faded into nothingness. Here, by the river's edge and the warmth of the fire, I felt an overwhelming sense of calm and contentment wash over me. The worries and stresses of everyday life seemed to melt away, replaced by a profound sense of peace. Alone, but not lonely, I was surrounded by the comforting presence of nature. The constant flow of the river, a timeless rhythm that connected me to something larger than myself, the infinite expanse of stars above, and the flickering flames of the fire were my companions for the night. Life, stripped to its bare essentials, revealed its inherent beauty. It was a reminder that true happiness can be found not in material possessions, but in the simple joys of nature and the quiet moments of solitude. As night fell, the river's friendly murmur became a powerful roar, the darkness immense. Every sound outside the firelight sparked my imagination. Fear pressed in as I retreated to my tent. Alone, the night solitude felt crushing, my mind racing with worries. But exhaustion and a spark of resilience surfaced. I breathed deeply, listening to the river's steady rhythm. Fear, I realized, was just a story my mind told in the dark. The owl hooted, the river flowed, nature was simply being. Slowly, panic gave way to a fragile calm. I drifted into uneasy sleep, having faced the darkness within and without. Morning light filtered through my tent, the river sparkled, the world reborn. I stepped out, relief and gratitude washing over me. I had made it through the night. The fear hadn't defeated me, instead, I felt a quiet strength. My fears, I realized, were not monsters, but shadows acknowledging them, let them pass. Courage wasn't the absence of fear, but acting in spite of it. The hardest part was behind me. I was changed. Packing up camp, I moved with new confidence, leaving behind a weight of fear. The walk back was joyous. The forest whispers now felt like a symphony of life. I was not the same person who had entered the woods. The town ahead no longer felt like a retreat, but a place to live more fully. The solitude had made me whole, teaching me that strength lies within. We all have our own wilderness to face. Find your quiet place, listen, and learn. In the deepest silence, we discover the courage to truly live